What is up? Welcome to Adobe Live and welcome to today's Masterclass for Creative Cloud Express. If we're just meeting, my name is Katrina Torrijos and I am the Creative Cloud Express evangelist. And I'm also a creator on YouTube and a Twitch streamer on the side. And today we have a very special guest. We have Jordan Dene with us. So Jordan, would you like to introduce yourself to the students?
Hi, I'm Jordan Dene Ellis. I am a community manager for Adobe Express. So I run our Insiders Facebook group and Discord. If you want to hang out with us there, you definitely should. We have a lot of fun. And I'm also a small business owner, podcaster, magazine creator, all kinds of side hustles going on.
Nice. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited to have you on. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people in the chat recognize who you are. And if you don't, definitely get to know Jordan. She's literally everywhere on all of our community spaces. But we're going to give a quick shout out to everyone in chat today. Hello, Cody. Hi, Oliver. Hi, Andreas. Hi, Sean. So many people here this Friday. Happy Friday. How was your week been? How has your week been? What are your weekend plans? I'd love to know. Clever. Hello. Hi, Stony. Who else is in here? I think I said hello to everyone.
I think you got it.
Yes. Okay. Awesome. Oh, and happy Earth Day. I saw some Earth Days in chat. So happy Earth Day to you, Jordan.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm going to spend the afternoon outside. So I feel like that's celebrating Earth Day.
Definitely get outside today. If you have great weather, or, if you like taking walks in the rain, or if it's cold as well, definitely try to get outside today. I'm gonna try and do a walk today. So yay. Okay, so today we have a very special episode dedicated to our Patreon users out there. So whether if you've been using Patreon for a while, or you just started, or you're thinking about getting started, it's just a great platform to build your community and reward your patrons with some really awesome stuff like merch and things. So for today's stream, we'll be talking about how to streamline your content on your Patreon. So like creating maybe assets for like a exclusive episode, like a podcast episode or something only available to Patreon, and then how to promote that on social, but also pulling in users and really enticing them to subscribe to your Patreon page, which also forgot to mention, Jordan, the reason why Jordan is here is because she's also a Patreon ambassador. I don't know if you mentioned it yet, but yes.
I love Patreon, man.
So she's
I can't
a
wait to talk about it.
expert. She's a Patreon and Creative Cloud Express expert. So I'm really excited to have y'all here. And let's see who's talking in chat. Clever says I may drive halfway across Texas. Boom. Yes, have a safe drive. Sean said, and the landscape never changes. And Cody said, oh, I thought about making a Patreon. Yes, we'll definitely do it. But before we begin, Jordan, would you like to just talk a little bit about Patreon and like how you use it as a business owner?
Yeah, I know not everyone has heard of Patreon. So if you haven't, it's a platform for creators to connect with their fans. And the amazing thing about Patreon is that creators can create all kinds of exclusive content or merch or like special things for their fans. And then in exchange, fans can financially support creators so that they can keep making the incredible things that they're making. So some reasons to have a Patreon is like if you are a musician or a poet or an illustrator, and it's not always easy to support yourself and your life and your team financially as a creative person. So Patreon is trying to make it a little easier by creating this platform for creators and then also for the fans to connect. So I am a creator on Patreon, and I am also a patron of a lot of really incredible artists. So I do both sides. So I love getting exclusive content and behind the scenes from really interesting folks. And then like I mentioned before, have a podcast and a blog and a print magazine and a pretty small team. And the entire way that we support our team and ourselves is through Patreon. So I'm really thankful for this platform. I create things like we have a monthly pin club, so you can get actual physical merch from us. We do exclusive digital downloads, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So create like phone backgrounds and desktop calendars. also exclusive episodes and like special videos and behind the scenes info of what we're doing. So there are a ton of really great ideas and ways that you can use Patreon depending on what your niche is and what your business is. And Patreon as a platform has a lot of information also. So like they have a lot of content if you want to learn about like the ways that other patrons use it and get some ideas from other folks. But for the people, I think Cody said she's thinking about creating a Patreon. Yeah. One of the best things about it is that you can just make one for free. Like there are fees as you get patrons, as with most platforms, but you can make one for free. You can test it out. I think we outed Katrina on the live yesterday that you have one that hasn't been published, and that's totally fine. Like you can make it and tweak it forever before you ever tell anyone the link, because that's fine. Oh yeah, you're showing the pop culture calendar.
Yes. I'm on your Patreon page.
Yeah, this is my page, and everything that you're scrolling past, I made in Adobe Express. So if you are a big Adobe Express user, you may recognize some of these templates, because I am not a pro designer and I use templates all the time. And I love using like the branding and the color options to make everything look unique. This one, I'm glad you stopped here. We did a Patreon special reward, I think is what they're called. So I made
this one, right?
Sticker.
Which one?
If you go back up, there's a You're Not Alone sticker. I actually made that off of one of your streams. You did a sticker workshop. And then I made a version of that and uploaded it to a company. Yeah, that one that does embroidered patches. And so that's literally just circles in Adobe Express in different colors. I used like one of the color palettes, and then a hand lettered file, which is a big part of my brand. So that wasn't done in Express, but you could also use a font and do a special, typography project. And then, downloaded that file, and it's an embroidered patch. And I, made a couple hundred of them and sent them out. So this is great.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm excited to show off how to streamline your process with Patreon, because one of the things that I think creatives know is that getting your process down and getting things to move quickly is one of the most important things, because we don't have enough time to do anything we want to do. So we're going to show you how to get things out quickly.
Exactly. And we have Mick in the chat saying, I had 2 patrons for about 3 weeks and now back to 0. It's okay.
Listen, I've been there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is your sign to pick it back up and to start promoting it again and posting fresh content on there. Let's see. Oliver said, I got as far as registering on Patreon, then had no idea what I could actually offer for money. So what are some of the stuff that you offer, Jordan? You kind of touched on that.
Yeah, so there's a wide range. I've seen pages that just have one thing. I mean, the most base level thing you could do is have one tier, one reward, and it's like, be my friend. And then it's just like, hey, thanks for supporting. Like, we love you. That's the reward. That's the easiest way if you just want to start. But you can do all kinds of things, like you can do social media shout outs to thank your patrons. So when they join, you can ask them for like their Twitter handle or Instagram. And I saw a very cool person who did like customized poems or like customized illustrations for all of their patrons. So depending on what type of artist you are, if you're a writer, we do enamel pins, and like the grab bag is more like all kinds of fun little trinkets. Like I put together a gift bag every month and send those out. And like I said, digital rewards like phone backgrounds, desktop backgrounds, calendars that are specific to your niche, just like putting information together, booklets, zines. There's all kinds of stuff depending on like what you are, what your niche is, what you're creating.
Yeah, exactly. And, you listed off a lot of things. And of course, as creators, we're making stuff for social, we're making stuff for like our websites, for clients, all that stuff. We're making a lot of things, and, adding exclusive content just for Patreon users or our exclusive like community spaces is just a lot. We're creating a lot of things. So today, as Jordan mentioned, we're going to teach you how to take one piece of exclusive content and just use Adobe Express. By the way, someone pointed out in chat, Sean pointed out that it's now a short form of Adobe Creative Cloud Express. You can now say Adobe Express, and we'll be referring to it. So if you hear it, that's what it means. But how to use Adobe Express to streamline your content so that you're not creating something brand new every single time. So we're all about repurposing here and making things faster and more efficient in this community. So let's go on and get started. Okay, so I'm going to be creating a mock podcast cover for The Sartorial Geek, which is Jordan's brand, her podcast. So we're going to start from a template today. We're going to look up podcast cover. And let's see what we get. I want to create something super fun for Jordan. Like when I think of like fandoms, geek culture and stuff, it's very like very funky, very out there, loud. And like I think of like, you know, like I think like the zines and stuff, like very, you know, when I'm like, by the way, you should promote your magazine, by the way, Jordan, because you do have a magazine out. Well, and it's really cool.
I'll tell you too, I shared my brand with Katrina ahead of time so she could see and like totally nailed it. Our brand colors are like the, oh my God, is the CMYK? Are those the colors? Like the 6 very bright primary colors from printing? I forget because I'm not a designer. But bold colors and yeah, like zine-y. You know, I like a lot of the collage-y looking things. And like you said, I do have a magazine. We were self-published. I run the Sartorial Geek with my co-founder and college best friend, Liz Crowder-Sirota. And so we self-published a magazine every season for 3 years and just got picked up by an official publisher, which is very cool. So they're like in comic stores now. If you live by a comic shop, you may be able to pick one up in person. But yeah, we do zines. We used to do like newsprint magazines and now they're officially published magazines, but all full of pop culture things, interviews with cosplayers, talking to comic writers, talking to people in the pop culture entertainment industry.
Super cool. Ooh, yeah, so I found this template definitely caught my eye, and from everything that you were describing, I'm thinking we could do something with this. I feel like it's very scrapbooky, very edgy and loud, exactly a lot of the stuff that you were talking about. So the pressure's on, y'all. Like I have the client right here. Let's go. Okay. Okay. So we're going to make this a podcast cover exclusively for your Patreon page. And so first thing we're going to do, I really like this, but I kind of envision like having maybe, since you are the star of your podcast, maybe have the same effect, but like with your headshot or something like that. We'll change the text, all that stuff. I really like the colors, and you know, we'll just go from there. So first let's just take out this image. It's imprinted in my mind. And I did my homework and I have your headshot. So I'm just going to drag it over here. Boom. Headshot over here. Magically just appeared.
Drag and drop, man. We love it.
Drag and drop. So good. So I'm going to just click on your image and then let's hit that remove background button and see what it does. Thinking about it. Okay. We love it. Perfect. Okay, so now we have the picture and I'm just going to place it. Now I want your headshot to be nice and big.
I'm going to say I love using remove background. And my other favorite thing about it that it took me too long to learn is like we've been talking about streamlining your content. So for example, if you wanted to reuse this template with another person, it will automatically remove the background and do all the filters that you do if you just swap out the photo. I think that is an incredible feature of Adobe Express.
Yes. Okay. We have Oliver saying, thanks for the suggestions on what to offer. Cody said, yes, it's CMYK. Oliver
Everyone's talking about shipping
birds and bugs,
animals. I can't condone that. I don't know what the rules around that are.
Cody said, immediate client feedback. Here we go. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, y'all are being so silly in chat. Okay, so I want to do the similar like black and white effect on your photo, Jordan. So we're gonna see what filters we have. We're not really going for duotone, maybe a grayscale, but I want the colors to be a bit more the colors. It's grayscale. I want the shadows and highlights to be a bit more like punchy. So if you want to do like a more, what's it called? If you want to like darken like the shadows and stuff, like I highly recommend combining the grayscale filter and doing enhancements so that you can really get that very contrasted kind of effect.
Like the zany look. Yeah,
yes,
the Xerox look that
the
we're
Xerox look. Yes. So
outing how old I am.
no, definitely not. So we're just going to like up the contrast. You're gonna like up the brightness and then turn down the shadows, like make it, you know, make it like, I don't know how to explain it, like very, the shadows,
I think
and the
it is. Yeah, it's the like upping the contrast to literally make it like when we used to copy things.
Yes, exactly. And then warmth we don't need to deal with. Sharpen, you can add some if you want, so you can like sharpen the photo, but as you can see, it sharpens the edges of like the cutout of like where your hair is. So I mean, we could go for that effect, totally fine, but I kind of want to just not show the harsh edges of your hair because, you know, we want to still keep it a little soft on the edges.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, oh my gosh, this does come out very like photocopy-esque. I love it. I dig it. Let's see.
Yeah, I love collaging, and I think it's a really hard thing actually. Like I'm not very good at it. So I like doing digital collages because you can tweak things really easily. There's no like glue. You can hit undo. So I love digital collage looks like this.
Exactly. And oh my gosh, I think it's so funny the text says back in my day. And we're talking about like how old we are about the photocopy days.
Yep.
I think that's hilarious. Okay,
back
so
in my day when you would rip paper with your own two hands.
Oh my God. Yeah, so we're just gonna change the text to say like the Sartorial Geek, you know, a podcast or something like that. But yeah. So what kinds of stuff do you talk about on your podcast?
I talk to creators and fans a lot. So everything is pop culture related. I like to talk to comic book illustrators and writers about like how they come up with their stories or what their process is. I also really love, as a small business owner, I really like talking to other people about their process. So sometimes we talk to other business owners about like how they do what they do. And if other people listening want to do similar things, like either how they got into the industry or different like tools they use, different systems they use to be successful. Also sometimes just talk to fans. So like I'm a huge fan of Marvel. And so we'll do episodes that are just like, let's talk about the Loki show that came out and how much we all love it. So it's a real range of creators and fans in the pop culture space. I've gotten lucky and been able to talk to some very cool people. Like I got to talk to Leslie Headland, who is showrunning a Star Wars show that's coming up and also was the showrunner for Russian Doll. So like I've been able to talk to some people who are like, I'm huge fans of, and then also sometimes I just talk to my friends about like things we're loving these days. So that's something I like about the podcast too. It can kind of put everyone on like, not an even playing field, but it's not like we only want to talk to celebrities or only think that like very famous people have interesting things to say. I think that everyone with a cool story like should have a platform to tell it. So, you know, just talk to fans about what they like. And fan culture, I think is very fun because like people being passionate about what they love, whatever it is, which is also part of why I love the Adobe community, because like Adobe fans are fans too. Like it's really fun to talk to people about what they love and why they love it. especially when it's something that makes their life better.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, this looks great.
Thanks. I'm glad you think so.
I love it.
It's very nerve-wracking for me, actually.
Don't worry, I'm a pretty chill critic.
Oh man. So in chat, Sean asked, are podcasts live so you can chat with listeners?
So I've never done that, but actually Katrina has been showing me the wonders of Twitch. And so I think I'm gonna like try out Twitch for the first time in my life. I'm gonna do some gaming stuff, but I didn't realize you can do podcasts that way too. So I think I might try it. I am not totally sure for like, I just don't really know how that works as far as then recording it. Like, because obviously doing a live stream like this, everyone knows there's a chat, and I haven't figured out how to manage that, like interacting with folks while you're recording a podcast and if they can interact. But yeah, we'll see. I'm going to experiment with it. So if you follow along on the journey, who knows what it'll be like over the next couple of months, because I'm going to experiment.
Right.
That's the fun thing about doing your own thing. You can experiment and then you can stop if it doesn't really work or keep going if you love it.
I've definitely seen some like live podcasting formats. Typically, if it's going on like Spotify or something, it is pre-recorded, but like there are people sometimes actually live stream their podcast like on YouTube or Twitch or something, or Behance, and then take that video, repurpose it into like a YouTube video with like edits, like a more refined edit, and then they take just the audio from that, put it on Spotify. So there are different ways that you could do it. It really depends on your preference.
Well, I didn't think about this either, but I should have, because we're here talking about Patreon. I feel like that would be a perfect exclusive content like situation where you could either just let your patrons have access to the live stream, or release an episode just for your Patreon. Like, it could be the episode that we are promoting right now with this image. So that is great.
Yes.
Oh, Cody asked what my Twitch account is, and it doesn't exist yet, but well, it's Jordan Danae, and I literally have it just to watch Katrina stream. So I have to put some content on there.
My goodness. Yes. So to catch people up, I am making, did I do this right? Oh yes. Okay. So I'm just making a little tag here that says like a Patreon exclusive episode, so that, when you upload this podcast cover to like the Patreon page or something, or you add new content, there will be a little tag here that could signify like, like only Patreon users know. So if you're like posting your podcast like on Spotify regularly or something, but they notice, there's a new episode but can't find it on Spotify, I feel like having like a visible like marking, like without even having to like reading these words right here, is helpful for folks to know who are just like scanning. So I'm just going to throw in the Patreon logo here. Look at me prepared. Look at me. That's such
a good point too, though. Like, we all know what it's like to scroll through social, and not everyone is reading every word of text because we're just scrolling. So making it as obvious as possible what you're promoting, I think, is a great tip.
Yes, for sure. So I'm just going to put in the logo here, and then we're going to actually make this text white, and then we're going to make this shape just a little bit transparent, just a little bit.
I love that design trick. I always forget about it, but I love messing with the transparency or opacity, whichever way you say it.
What do you say more, transparency or opacity?
I think I say opacity,
and
but
chat too. What do you say?
Tell us.
I think I say opacity more. I think just now I couldn't think of the word.
I mean, yeah, I am not a trained designer, but I hang out with them a lot. So I've absorbed some design language. I think opacity. Yeah, Cody says. I think that makes sense to me.
This looks good. Oh my gosh, this is good. Okay, so we're almost done here. We just need to add in we need some nerdy things, some geek culture. So what are some things that you like?
Well, I mentioned I love Marvel. I love superheroes. The first nerdy thing I ever got into was Pokemon. As a kid, I saved up my allowance to buy a Game Boy Color so I could play Pokemon Red. Big Star Wars fan. Honestly, I like.
Are you into Harry Potter?
I am into Harry Potter. I used to there was like a tour of Harry Potter conventions that I did for a couple years. I would go to Harry Potter conventions like every 3 weeks. It was great. Selling merch. Yeah, I like it all. If I'm being honest.
I love it. How about chat? What are some
do we have any fellow nerds in the chat? What are your favorite fandoms?
We'd love to know. Okay, so I have a Pokeball here, and you mentioned Star Wars.
Love Star Wars.
Oh, look at these!
My gosh,
I love these so much.
There are so many cute icons and shapes, and they're so convenient because you can change the color so easily.
Completely agree with you. Let's see. Oh, I like this. Yes. They also have the different wands for Harry Potter.
Oh my gosh.
They have everyone's different wands. They have the Elder Wand. Oh my goodness.
I love it.
So many different options. Okay.
I feel like this is also really good. I know not everyone makes like super nerdy stuff, but I feel like there are a ton of like trivia nights and stuff that are like fandom specific. So if anyone watching does that type of thing, like we have a ton of fun nerdy icons you can use. Or for like birthday invitations, I personally throw myself a nerdy birthday party every year. My most recent one, I did a Spider-Man party before the pandemic. So I really like making adult birthday invitations that feel like they're for 5-year-olds. That's my go-to every year.
That
so maybe I'll make the next one with all of these icons.
Yes. And I want to be invited to, oh my gosh, I keep moving it. What's it called? I want to be invited to your next birthday party. Sounds super fun.
Cody loves Batman. I love Batman too. I love Robert Pattinson's Batman so much. But yeah, I think Batman is super cool. And I think his villains are super cool. And I love Batgirl. I know we're talking about design here. I could talk about nerd stuff all day. I mean, I do kind of. So yeah, if you want to talk about that with me, come on over to Sartorial Geek and we talk about. Is it a fandom if no one else cares about the character? In my opinion, yes. Like I know there are a lot of like people in nerd culture that have a lot of like rules about things, and I think all of that is trash. So I think even if you're the only person who loves it, it still counts. And I think another cool thing about that is like when you find someone else who loves the same thing as you, it's so special. So I vote yes. Xavier.
Yes. Awesome. Okay, so we're pretty much done with the podcast cover. What do you think?
I think it's the best. No, I think this is so great.
Okay, cool. So now I'm just going to go ahead and share it with you. We can turn it into a template, or I can invite you directly to the project. So I think I'm going to go ahead. Let's make it a template so that when you're working with it, you could just do whatever you want with it, and it creates a new project every time. So we could call it Sartorial Geek Podcast Cover. And then I'm just going to add it to our shared library. Let's add it to, Sartorial Geek shared library. And just going to hit save. And then as it's saving, it should boot over to Jordan's computer, to her screen. And then she'll be able to work from it. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you see it? Do you have it pulled up?
Hold on 1 second. All right.
Just let us know.
I'm good. I have it.
Perfect. Okay. So we're going to go to your screen.
Yeah, great. Okay, so what we have been talking about is streamlining your content for Patreon. And so one of the things, we have this beautiful podcast cover, and now we need to promote it and tell folks about it. And this is actually perfectly sized already for Instagram. So way to go, Katrina. I would just post this in feed as is. But I want to make it a story.
Also,
too.
before you start.
Yeah.
This is Jordan's first live demo, y'all. Let's send her some love. This
is to me.
Monumental. Okay. So, okay, proceed. Just wanted to put it out there.
That's really true. And like I said, I am not a professionally trained designer at all. So I love Adobe Express for that. And also I am nervous because designing in front of designers is so intimidating, but it's my brand. So I'm the only one who has to care if it looks good. But yeah, so, when you do something for Patreon, like we've talked about, you have to promote it or else no one will know about it. And then that won't help you very much. So what I want to do is turn this into an Instagram story. That's one of my favorite ways to promote my projects. So I'm just going to hit resize over here, choose the Instagram story option. And I like everything about this. I just want to change a couple things. It looks a little bit like just a square design squished in the middle. So I think that making the Patreon exclusive part bigger is really important. I want everyone to see that at the top. I'm going to change this shape with it. So I'm going to move the shape to fill in more of it and make this part bigger. Nice. So that it's what everyone sees. Oops.
Yeah. And if you're on a mobile phone too, the screen is smaller. So if all your text is small, people are going to be squinting when you read your text. So take up as much space as you can for mobile designs.
Cool. I like this. I'll line up the corner there. Cool. I think I'll do the same thing, move this shape just to make the color fill up more of it. And then I'll just make the circle bigger too. Why not? We'll just make all the shapes bigger. And those are nice, easy ways to adjust the design without having to spend too much time. And I love that Instagram now lets you drop links, lets everyone drop links in stories. So one of my favorite ways to do that is to go into the basic shapes and look for this roundy rectangle right here. Because when you're designing for Instagram stories, you drop the link straight in Instagram. And so I like to leave a place for it so it looks intentional. And there's when you actually go to Instagram to post it, I can drop the link right here. And what do you think? I think it's done. I think with just a couple of clicks, when I'll download this, I'll drop it on Instagram stories and I can put the link right there. And that's it.
Yeah. And for the link, would you go to the podcast page or since it's a Patreon exclusive, could you drop Patreon links in stories?
I would drop the link to Patreon because if it's a Patreon exclusive, you're going to have to be a member to have access. So I would drop the link straight to my Patreon, which is a great lead into I love Pinterest as well. And I think this could also be a pin to let folks know to let people know on Pinterest. So with that though, you would not want to leave this awkward empty rectangle because that won't look awesome. So I'm going to copy, can I do this? I'm going to copy this text and put my link here so that, copying all of this in the wrong order. So that people on Pinterest can find it. So I'm going to go patreon.com/tutorial geek, make it fit. And then now I have a pin.
That's cool. Yeah. And then the pin itself links back to your Patreon page because you can link pins pretty much anywhere, right?
Yeah, you can just drop the actual link. So if someone's just scrolling past, they know where to go. And then, yeah, if someone is clicking through, they'll go right there.
Nice. That is super exciting.
And that was what, like 5 minutes to make 2 social posts, which is really great.
Minutes, ma'am. We have a lot more time left.
Don't worry. So I'm gonna make this for Twitter too, because
Twitter. We haven't done a Twitter use case on here before.
I like doing so when I'm being a little lazy or smart. I'm not sure. I usually just do a square and then like reshare that to everywhere. I'll just share straight from Instagram. But if you want to actually make things the right size for the platform, which is a great idea, you can do that. So this is taking something horizontal and making it or vertical and making it horizontal, which is a little wild. So you just have to adjust some of the things. But this is my favorite part of using Express is that like moving stuff around between templates or like, you know, resizing and reusing templates is my favorite creative hack, if I'm being honest. So I think I'm going to.
I feel like it also gives you like another chance to look at what you're designing in a different way. Cause I know like for me, when I was first using the resize tool, I was like, oh man, I like wanted everything to just automatically be there when I resize from square to like stories. But then like, you know, sometimes what fits and works well in a square dimension doesn't always work the same way for like a story dimension, like when you pulled in the podcast cover into the Instagram story. So I feel like being able to like rearrange things, like still have things done, like all your text is done, your colors are picked out, like your headshots there, just being able to rearrange it and still give yourself that second chance to like really optimize the graphic for what you're posting to, I think is really like not a bad thing at all. It is an extra step, but I feel like, you know, if you just leave it all to like like some machine to choose it for you, you know, it's you know, a little different.
You might, like you said, you might notice something that you didn't notice before. So if you notice something that like, I still really like all of this, but if I notice something that like bothered me about the design, you still have the chance to like open up your old file and like adjust things. That's the beauty of it. What do we think?
I like it. You can even space out, what's it called? Make the icons a little bigger or even add more icons.
Great idea. Let's make these bigger. Let's spread these bad boys out. And
you can add in, you know, or if you wanted to change the icons because it's a different platform.
Let's do that.
It's like same, but different, you know?
This is going to be, I was not prepared for this. So we're going to see what we find when we search superhero. I like.
Should be like a segment on this masterclass. Is there a shape for this?
Is there a shape? Okay. We have. Oh man. I'm going to have to go with my favorite. We have a how did I get to? We have a female Thor coming. I'm so excited. Let's see what other Star Wars things we have. Did we get any answers in the chat if there are any other fellow nerds?
Cody said, oh yeah. We read this already. Cody said her favorite superhero has always been Batman. Robert said Pippi Longstockings from when I was a child.
That's lovely.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you all. I'm choosing this star because I have a tattoo of this Captain Marvel star. Ooh. I love her.
Cody said, I met my husband while playing video games online when we were teenagers.
That is so cute.
What game was it, Cody?
Oh yeah, we need info. We need deets.
It seems like an amazing story.
Let's see.
I met so many people
Man.
playing video games and streaming on Twitch. I would say probably half or 60% of my IRL friends now were met through gaming on Twitch. It's really cool.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Cody
I
said
love
Little Big Planet on PlayStation.
That game is so cute. That's one of the few games I played because it's like easy-ish for people who aren't huge gamers like me.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite things too about using these like shapes with transparent spots is like when you do it on top of something. Like I like that the triangle goes through this helmet, and it's very cool.
It adds a splash of color
into all this stuff.
I love it.
Oh man.
Curious in chat, do we have any gamers in chat? I would love to know, because
these are so cool.
Yeah, because if another event series that I do on the Creative Cloud LinkedIn channel is called My Dream Job Journey, and we're getting into a really big month where we're just going to talk with folks who landed jobs at gaming companies. So if we haven't, since we're on the topic, if we have any gamers out there, be on the lookout on Discord and Facebook for these Dream Job Journey event series. It's really cool. You meet like different people from the community and stuff, like from the Adobe community, and we also make really cool projects on Creative Cloud Express as well. So next month will be a big gaming month. So Mick says, OG gamer here. Mick, what games do you play? Cody said, my husband and I have been playing Red Dead Redemption 2 online a lot lately. Oh my gosh, I love that.
That is excellent.
Jordan, do you play any games?
I play Stardew Valley like every day of my life. I love it so much. That's one of my favorites. And I am really looking forward to this summer. One of my goals is to get way more into gaming. So I have a Switch, which I love. And that is what I have been playing most games on.
Mick said, first game I played was Space Invaders in the bowling alley arcade in 1980 or so. Wow.
I love that. What do you think? It's like, it's a whole new set of icons, but
I love it. If you love it, that's all that matters.
I realized too, this could be, if you did record video, like Sean was talking about, if you recorded the episode on Twitch, this is now the same, like the right dimensions for a video thumbnail too, I think, or really close to.
Yeah, exactly. And you can also stream on Twitter too.
Really?
Some of our evangelists and some Adobe Live folks stream on Twitter as well, like they simulcast. So it's really cool. So you could actually, if you have like Restream or like, you know, you're into simulcasting, you can stream to Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter at the same time. It's wild. Oh, and Behance too. If you can just stream to a lot of places, but this is really cool. And then since it's a Twitter dimension, I'm curious to see if it's like a, what's it called? If you can put it, what it looks like in like the YouTube thumbnail.
Let's see. Because what I was thinking too, because we're talking about streamlining and just making your process easier. Yeah. So the other great thing about it too is, like, for example, okay, so we just made a podcast episode cover, an Instagram story, Twitter and Facebook, I'm pretty sure could both use this. Facebook,
yeah.
A YouTube thumbnail. So we just did all of that.
And a Pinterest pin.
And a Pinterest, exactly.
And we're still under time.
And then, well, the other thing too is, like, if you want to do another one, all you have to do is like change the colors, and you have a different like episode, you know?
Oh my gosh. Oh, you're right. Oh, we have some folks in chat. Xavier said Gran Turismo 7 has been really fun to play and watch. Cody said Animal Crossing. CJ said first game was Sonic 2 on Super Nintendo. Been playing video games ever since.
I love that. I love that.
I love the new colors. Oh my gosh, I forgot to mention on Instagram stories when you did the story, um, adding the color animation to it.
Oh yeah.
Wait, let's see what it does.
If I do, okay, no promises here, folks. I don't know what this is gonna look like. It's color shuffle, right?
Yes, color shuffle, the first option.
Okay. Wow.
I love that. So you could, when you're doing the stories, like I feel like this would have been so great because, well, how long is usually it turns the video for? Like five seconds? Or
I think so. Wait, hold on. Here we go.
I think it's 5 seconds.
Oops. I think you're right. But this is also, so like on top of this animation being cool, I'm also seeing some really nice color schemes that I like. While like I really like doing black and white with just one color. And I really like this like black and pink option.
Yeah. I have an idea. Okay, so you don't have to do it like on stream, but like imagine you export this as the video, right? Go into quick actions and then convert it to GIF.
Oh yeah.
And then now you can put it on like a blog post or something, like a website, and it's like still animating.
That's perfect.
Ideas.
That's fun too. There are so many fun animation options that I do not ever use, and I absolutely should.
Yeah.
Oh, the other thing too, which I hadn't mentioned because I forgot until right now, is when you are using Patreon, you post also to your Patreon page when you have new content so that your patrons know, like they'll get automatically notified in whatever way they choose. So this format, like this size, is also a perfect like blog post size, which is what I like to use on my Patreon page. You can use any size, but I think like the horizontal sizing is what I prefer. So this is also like when you do your Patreon update, you have now the image that you need for your Patreon post too. So literally you have everything you could
need.
Yep. And then if you want to do like, if this is a recurring series, if this is a weekly, or a lot of Patreon rewards are monthly. So if this was like a monthly episode, then you just, you can just change the colors and make it new episode. And if it's an episode that's not with me, I don't think I have any.
You do not have my headshot. Goodbye.
Wait.
No.
I do.
No, you don't.
I definitely do. Let me see.
Oh my goodness.
And if I don't have yours, I'll just use a stock photo, but I'm 99% sure that I have. Who's this?
Not me, not me, not me, not me, not me.
It might be Katrina. Just, you know.
Don't.
But look how fun that is though, because it did, like I was saying before, this is my favorite feature. It changed all of the, it added all of the
styles.
Thank you. And then I can just change this text with special guest Katrina. And
Cody said, yeah, that's interesting that it kept the settings.
Yeah, I love that it does that. It's one of my
usually when you
favorite things.
Usually when you hit replace, like, so if you click the image first and then hit replace and then upload a different photo or something, any filters or whatever you apply to it will apply to the new thing that you replace it with. But if you just like put in an image, like, you know, without hitting that replace button, it'll upload the original. So that's how you do that. And you can also still mess with the photo, right?
I could go back in, turn the enhancements off, or, you know, change the contrast, turn the filter on and off.
Yeah, exactly.
That looks great.
It's still customizable, but it takes in whatever you did last. Yeah.
So just talking about streamlining and making this as easy as possible for creators, like I feel like we've just done a crash course on how to make like unlimited content and batching. I don't know if we've talked about this on a stream before, but batching is one of my favorite content creator tips because you can make, if you know, especially if you have a social calendar and you know what's coming up, or like you record your episodes in advance, or you want to make events so that your followers or patrons know what's coming up, this is the perfect way to do it. Because you could make, you know, a month or 2 or 3 ahead of time, make all of the social posts that you need, and then just have them ready to go.
Yeah. So since we're on the topic of tips, we do have 5 minutes left. So let's go into some like tips that you have as a Patreon page owner. Like, what are, for folks that are just starting off, like making their Patreon page, or, you know, who want to get into it, like what would be your top like 3 tips?
One, which I think is a tip that works for content creation across the board, is consistency. So like make sure that whatever you promise your patrons, you can deliver whenever you say you can, every month or whatever, because there's nothing worse than opting into something, or especially paying money to a creator and then like not getting the thing that they promise. Yeah. So make sure whatever you have your rewards set at, that you can do them, or you know, that you're very honest with your patrons, because they'll really appreciate that. I would also say, think about like, well, no, I would say ask your audience, ask your fans, ask your customers what they want, because you're doing this for them too. So like polling the audience is one of my favorite tips as a small business, or as a big business, or as a creator at all. Like just straight up ask the people that you're interacting with what they want to see. So they might have better ideas, or they might want something that you've never thought of and can give them. So just, you know, straight up ask. And then my third tip would be just do it. Like I know a couple people in chat, and also, you know, Katrina, like having one and then being like, I don't know if I'm gonna do it. And that's a super, super common and understandable way to feel, especially as a creator. Like it's really vulnerable to put your work out there in a lot of ways. And so I think it sometimes is really hard to just do it, to just hit publish. But the amazing thing about a lot of projects, and Patreon included, is that you can always edit. So like I have changed the reward options. I think I've had Patreon for 4 years, and I've done like big changes probably 3 times, because, you know, as you're working, sometimes you're like, oh, that reward, actually no one wants it. Or like, I have a better idea, or I heard that there's a different thing I should give instead. Or like, this is just getting old now. Like people who have been in my Patreon for months, like, or years, maybe don't want the same thing over and over. So yeah, I vote just do it. And you can always make edits later. Yes. Just put yourself out there.
Yes.
If it feels scary, it is, and that's okay, but just do it.
That's all the more reason for you to do it. If something feels scary, feels uncomfortable, that should be your sign that you've got to do this, because growth is just on the other side of discomfort.
That's and if you have any questions, seriously, like I'm here. So feel free to message me or ask any questions, ask any advice. I love helping out.
Exactly. And CJ said, just do it. Make your dreams come true.
That's right. I guess we should also say the 2 of us are in the Adobe Express Discord all the time, which is a perfect place to come ask questions about either designing or content creating or Patreon. Like, please come hang out with us and ask away.
For sure. Mick said, boom, well said. CJ just quoted me, growth is on the other side of discomfort. Dang, that's some good stuff. Cody Bear, LOL. Oh, Robert, I missed his comment. It said, I must open Animal Crossing so my animals don't think I moved away from my island.
So I have not opened Animal Crossing in probably a year, and I know when I go back, there are going to be cockroaches, and I'm so sad. I mean, you know,
I feel called out,
but I'm gonna do it soon. My poor animals are probably so sad.
It's okay.
But that's why I love Stardew Valley, because it's not real time. So if you put it down for a month or two or a year. They won't even know.
For sure. Yeah, definitely. Let's all connect on video games after the stream for sure.
Yeah, please.
But yeah, with that, we're pretty much about at time. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in today's masterclass, everyone. And thank you, Jordan, for being a guest today. And I hope everyone out here learned some new tips or got inspiration from today's stream. And you can connect with us on YouTube or me. Yeah, all of us on the YouTube. We're all on the Creative Cloud Express YouTube channel and the Creative Cloud YouTube channel. And on Instagram, I'm at Katrina Torrijos and Jordan is at Jordan Danae, right? And Sartorial Geek.
Yeah. And if you have a Patreon, drop the link. I want to check them all out. So
for sure. And yes, also don't forget to subscribe to the Creative Cloud Express YouTube channel, and hop on over to the Discord or the Facebook group if you're not in there already, and you'll see more of Jordan and I and more content just like this. But yeah, with that said, thank you all so much for tuning in today, and we will see you in the next stream. All right, bye everyone.
Bye.
Have a good weekend.